Come talk to me, Dustin. Tell me what you think. I'm whispering in your ear, Dustin. Can you hear me now, Dustin? Is it loud and clear to you now, Dustin?
That's how we're starting this episode.
Flight Tales, woo-woo.
And now for the runway report.
Well, we got 09 Echo back, finally.
Yay!
We have all our planes back.
We have all our planes back.
For
It's
now.
got a brand new engine, overhauled, brand new, fresh overhauled. And now it's time to break it in.
How's that work?
Make it in.
Well, we have to fly it at pretty much full power, 75% power to 65% power. Not RPMs.
See, I'm assuming this has happened before.
Yes. Yes.
You know, according to the cruise charts.
Was it by you, Brennan?
No.
Okay.
But yeah, no, basically go on cross countries and have normal cruise power settings and just get it hot and until the oil consumption stabilizes.
Yeah.
That's the break-in.
Yeah.
There's some stuff in there that happens internally. But we're not going to get into that because
That's boring.
we might dig ourselves into a hole where
I don't know what I'm talking about.
yes. So we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
What else happened? Had some people pass or check rides.
Yeah, a bunch of people.
So y'all can't train in the plane yet? Y'all have to.
We can, but they can only do cross
Certain-
countries.
Gotcha. So
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
We can't. We're not gonna go do stalls and stuff.
Yeah. They have to do cross countries and keep their power setting high.
Yep.
Gotcha. Well, cool.
Yep.
It's a very specific plane now.
Very.
Yep. And for the first at least 25 hours. I mean, they tell you to wait till the oil consumption stabilizes, but usually it's around 25 hours
How do you know when that's stabilized?
If
when you
one-
don't have to keep putting oil in it.
Yeah.
Oh, so
You
y'all just,
keep track of it.
y'all
and
just
so
check
like,
it every day,
yeah,
yeah.
you check
Yeah.
it all the time.
That's part of the checklist. You check
Yeah.
your oil, you see where it's at,
gotcha.
and then
And then once-
I guess
Once
as-
there's a few that you don't have to add, or
Yeah.
do they? You have to add it after every. Like it burns it that. Why does it burn it fast? What's the difference now?
Because there's rings that are in the cylinder that are supposed to keep the oil
In it.
below the cylinder, below the like below the piston.
Yeah.
And so until those rings fully expand out to seal it good, oil will slip by the rings.
It's just got to get broken in. I
Yes.
get it. That's cool.
Yeah, so we definitely dug ourselves in the hole that we were not.
Yes, he started asking questions. So
Oh, is that the hole that we didn't want to? Oh,
that's the hole we were gonna leave. Yeah, stop talking.
I
Yeah.
wasn't paying attention to that
Yes.
part. I guess.
I mean, if you look at, you really should keep track of the hours and kind of like if you're doing 8 hours is really good before you have to add a quart.
Yeah.
But like, 4 I think is normally or 5, something like that.
So you were talking about
Let's
check
see.
rides. You had some, didn't have some.
Had a
Did we-
bunch.
Well, it's been a while,
I
so I'm
posted
trying
one.
to figure out
Huh?
who did.
I
Who
posted
did their
one
check rides.
today.
Well, Matthew is about to do his on
Yeah,
Saturday.
he did the ground.
Passed the oral.
hmm
Garrett passed his commercial.
Is-
I mean, we had Thanksgiving kind of in the middle there too. Like no check rides on Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, I guess we didn't have a bunch of people.
But before that, I'm trying to think who was before that.
Oh, since we didn't do a Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Yeah, since we did a podcast with Chris.
I hadn't posted much in the past
No, it's
couple
been.
weeks.
I think some people we ended up pushing their check rides back.
Yeah.
that was the case. We pushed back like 3 people.
Yeah, so. But I thought Peyton had done at least one. I thought before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Can't remember. Anyway, we've been working. We've been slow though because of we had one airplane getting an engine change, and then the other ones were kind of due for 100 hours back to back, so that kind of messed us up because we were trying to.
Oh, I was gone for all this. I was trying to wonder. I was
Oh
trying to think.
yeah.
I was
There
trying
you
to,
go. That's what Brennan went on vacation.
Did go on
I don't know.
vacation.
Where did you go, Brennan?
Broken Bow, Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah. I've been to Broken Bow.
Yeah.
You looked like you were by. I looked at your pictures, and
You rode a horse.
I did ride a horse.
he rode a horse.
That was cool.
That was fun.
That looked
They
cool.
went in a lake.
The horse did?
Yes, with us on it.
Like y'all went across it?
Yeah, I had to pick up my
That's
feet.
so
I
cool.
had to pick up my feet, and I was like, whoa. Mine was called Fireball. I was like, whoa, Fireball.
Whoa, fireball.
Whoa, fireball!
Dude, we used to, not we used to, but we we were messing around
We
with
used
the
to.
horse. Not messing around with them, but doing funny shit.
Brennan, say what you mean.
I'm
What were
sorry.
you doing to the horse? Okay.
We would all they were teaching us how to ride the horse. So they were like, whenever you wanted to stop, pull
back on the
back
reins,
and go
yeah.
whoa and say whoa. So I'm the first one to get on the horse, and then it like walks out a little bit, and then it doesn't stop walking. I'm like, whoa, Fireball, whoa. They're like, pull back on him. I'm like, whoa, Fireball, stop it. He was pretty good. I told you about him. Did I tell you about me trying to lead him?
No.
Oh, so these
Making
horses,
him turn and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
These horses go on these trails like all the time. Like that's
Yeah.
all they do is
They
go on
probably
these
have
trails.
they know the trail.
Yeah,
you don't
so,
really
like,
need to do
You
anything.
don't tell them where to go.
Yeah.
They tell you where to
Yeah.
go. So like we were about to go into the lake, and I was like trying to follow the horse that was in front of me.
Yeah.
And I was like, come on, Fireball, come on, go this way. And he was like looking back. I pulled his neck one time. He like looked back at me.
Oh yeah, he's like, that's funny. He's like,
He
excuse
was
me,
like,
excuse
he
me.
looked back and he like continued on the path he was going on. He's like, bruh, this is a way easier route. I've got this.
Let me handle this. I
Don't-
got it.
Do not fret.
You just ride.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was fun. It was a good time. Went zip lining and all kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
It was
zip
good.
lining is fun.
Y'all had all that planned out, or y'all figured it out when y'all got there?
We had it, the cabin planned.
But like all the
Nothing
fun,
else.
the horse
Yeah.
riding and stuff. That's
Yeah,
cool.
we
Y'all just kind of went
figured
through to
out
see what they
whenever
had.
we went out. Yeah, it was nice. It was cold, so they had a hot tub out there and whatnot.
Ooh.
It was nice.
That's what they had when we went, because we went in like March or something when it was still kind of cool.
Yeah, they
'Cause
had
it was like their break, the kids' break. It was like it was Mardi Gras, so it had to have been like February, maybe February, March.
probably still pretty cold. Then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's up north, right?
Yeah.
in Oklahoma.
I mean, kind of north. yeah.
Compared to us.
Yes.
I mean,
Anything's
we're
north.
on the Gulf of the Mexico.
Gulf of the Mexico.
We're on the
Gulf of
Gulf. I like how you realized halfway through that you were messing up, but you just
Just hey, I'm gonna just run with it. What
Gulf
is
of
Gulf
the
of the Mexico?
Sound like Yoda.
Gulf of the Mexico. It is.
Oh yes.
I got my wife to start watching the Jedi, the Star Wars movies,
Yeah.
and she texted me back something. I was like, "Do we have this?" She was like, "We have baby food. We do." And
We
I
do.
was like,
Oh no!
She's like, "Why did I sound like Yoda?" No, she said, "Have baby food. We do."
have baby food. We do.
I was like, "There you go."
So, yeah, you were gone for a week, so you don't even know what happened. You can't even help me figure out
No,
who took a check
I was
ride.
enjoying time away from here.
Yeah.
That's okay. Now time for some pre-solo advice.
I mean, I like being here, but
I don't
No,
know. The
I'm
common
the
thread
same
in
way.
every episode is Brennan's tired of being here.
Well, you know, I feel the same way too. I mean, you're flying all the time, and you get burnt
it's
out.
not that I don't like being here. It's that I have a life outside of this. That-
Vacations are good.
Yeah. I like being here,
No,
but
no,
I
no,
like
no. Hey, no. Flying is your life. Flying is your life.
This is going to turn into a brainwashing session.
Flying is your life.
Flying is your life.
Let's get some pre-solo advice.
stay ahead of the plane.
Yes, stay ahead of the airplane. Actually, that was one of the things that happened today. The person I was flying with, he kind of got behind the airplane. We were doing instrument stuff.
It happened today. It happened yesterday.
Yes, it happens all the time.
It happened to me today too.
So it's multiple people. I mean, everybody's gotten behind the airplane, but you
It's not about flying the plane, but it's about
Just-
being set up.
just so many things start to happen And if you're not prepared for it mentally, you can get behind, and then you got to kind of like speed up your process in order to get back to where you should be. But you always try to stay ahead of the airplane and kind of have an idea, what do I need to do next?
Well, people that fly all the time, like it's harder for us to get behind the plane because we do it all the time, right? Yeah. If we forgot to put in a frequency and someone tells us, hey, contact that frequency, we'll be like, okay, put the frequency in, nothing happened, right? But for a private pilot that's only got 25 hours, or a private pilot that doesn't fly all the time, like little things add up and little things start to become bigger and bigger and bigger problems depending on what's going on around you too. So like could be a bunch of traffic around you, could be that you forgot to put the frequency and then you forgot to turn on your transponder.
Those air traffic control guys just yelling at you.
Yeah, all that stuff. And they're like, what heading are you on? Why are you turning? And then you're like, oh crap, I gotta turn this way, and then you forget this. So yeah.
So if you're already done it or know what you're gonna do, it's easy. Yeah.
It's easy to recover and you can multitask a little bit better. But for private pilots, they're not. You're still learning how to multitask.
Yeah.
Like you're still learning how to do all that stuff at one time. So better to stay ahead so you don't have to do.
So usually on the times like on a cross country where you're like you have nothing to do or you're just kind of sitting there, you always want to try to set whatever frequency you can set ahead of time to kind of help prevent getting behind the airplane.
How does that work?
That's experience, I guess, knowing, I need to listen to ATIS. I need to listen.
Yeah.
I need to talk to next. After that, I'm going to have to talk to tower or this approach controller or whatever.
But it's good to start as soon as you can in the training process. Of
yeah.
Like, okay, wait, who would I be talking to? Who should I?
Well, and that's, like usually when you're with a student pilot and you go on a cross country with them, the first cross country is a total mess because they don't know what to expect. And it's kind of hard for us to even kind of explain it until they experience it.
You just got to do it.
Yeah. And then after that first leg, it's a total mess. But then on the way back, it's better because they kind of know what to do next.
Oh, that's cool. At least that's a quick learn.
Yeah.
In my head, at least.
The first leg is really you teaching them what to do.
And the
like you said, you don't know what.
Yeah.
They don't know what to expect. So it's just like you telling them how to stay ahead of the plane.
And on the way back, you let them try it out.
On the way back, yeah, it's like, okay, so who do you think we're going to talk to next?
Yeah.
And then they can start doing it themselves and try and
it gets better. And like, but even though, it's a continuous process. So the more hours you get, the more easier that becomes to be ahead of everything. You kind of know what to expect each time. It's the same. Once you've been doing it for a while, it's the same thing everywhere.
No matter where you go.
No matter where you go.
Yep.
But you can get lazy where you just like forget to do something, and then it might put you behind. But for somebody with experience, you can kind of try to speed up to catch up.
Yeah.
So flying a plane sounds a little stressful.
Yes.
And
it can be stressful.
Like if you're the pilot, can you have a conversation with somebody, or do you is that almost impossible because you always have to be what's next?
You can, as you get better, you can have a conversation.
Because you're already ahead.
Yeah, because yeah. But you also get better at saying like, okay, I'm focusing on doing this for a second, right? I'm gonna do this, and then I can talk, right?
Because you're sure you're ready to go. Or okay, that makes sense.
But like sometimes you don't know. I don't know.
If you have somebody sitting in the right seat, sometimes you have to tell them to shh.
Yes, please. Shh. Finger. Give them a finger.
Yes.
Hold up.
I get that finger all the time because I'm talking to the student and they're like,
and I can't get mad at it either because I do the same thing.
They're doing what they're supposed to be.
And they're just trying to
to figure it out on their own.
They're trying to listen, and they hear their tail number in the back.
Gotcha.
So they're trying to listen.
What can y'all mute? Can y'all mute the headset?
You can mute. Yeah, you can mute. Like if people are in the back seat, you can mute them. You can mute the right
like if they want to talk to each other,
they can talk to each other, but you won't hear them as a pilot. Yeah,
perfect scenario of people falling behind the plane and using the mute button.
Wait, that was a good way.
You know what I'm about to talk about?
Well, I think so.
We were doing
that was a good way to stop us talking. That was crazy. It worked.
Yes, it works.
We were doing multi-training, and it was
What's
like
that? Multi-engine
training. It was me and John going for our multi.
Right.
And it was like an early morning, and Mike was there. Our
he was
mechanic.
riding in the back seat.
So I went already, and John we were like, oh, we'll all go, right? So me, Mike, Ryan, and him got in the multi, and we're just in the back talking up a storm. John's listening to all of it. John starts messing up. And Ryan's like, what are you doing?
So Ryan and John are in the front.
Yes,
And
me
y'all are
and
just
Mike
all
are in the back.
Okay.
And we're
You all
just
two are in the back.
talking
Gotcha.
the whole time. And John,
Ryan's like,
Ryan's kind of talking with us too, but he's watching.
Yeah.
And we're all talking though. But then all of a sudden, Ryan's like, hold on, what are you doing?
he snaps back into airplane mode.
Yeah,
John's
snap
been-
back into instructor.
John's
you know?
been quiet the whole time. He's just trying to figure out.
Wait, while listening to y'all?
Yes.
I guess he was trying to tune us out.
He's like,
Yeah, and he couldn't. Well, then Ryan goes, what are you doing? He was like, well, these guys back here are just talking up a storm. I can't concentrate. And then all of a sudden, he was like, well, let's go around and do it again. He came around, and then all of a sudden, John reaches up and he goes, boop, and mutes us in the back. And me and Mark were like, I guess we're free to talk now.
I don't know why I didn't do that first.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think he realized he was messing up till I said something.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh,
Yeah.
because, yeah.
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 That sounds so stressful to me. Like just
Yeah.
hearing voices while trying to.
Yeah.
Well, and I was cutting up with him too, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I was getting
And then you
all in
cut
it.
back in and say,
Yeah,
what's
and I
wrong
was
with you?
What you doing, John?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
We're like shooting through final
Yeah.
and whatnot.
You're supposed to be doing an ILS. What are you doing?
I'm trying.
He snapped. It was just so funny because he snapped in that
When he
1
pressed the
second.
button?
No, he snapped when Ryan said,
Oh.
what are you doing? And he was like, just kind of
Yes.
lost it. But yeah, you can get behind it. We
So that's kind of what happened. He got behind.
he
'cause
got
was-
behind. He was just getting distracted by
Yeah.
other stuff, and he got behind the plane, and he just kind of let the plane go. A lot of private pilots do it whenever, because we have a lot of airports that are really, really close together.
Mhm.
A lot of places don't have airports that are that close. I don't think. I feel like that's like a down south thing.
Yeah.
'Cause,
I
like-
mean, in Hammond, we didn't have, I mean, even in Natchitoches, I mean, if you want to go shoot approaches, you'd go down to Alexandria, which is like 30 minutes away,
Yeah.
you know?
Close
don't
to
have-
here, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have like airports on top of. We got like 4 or 5 airports
Yeah.
on top of Lafayette. So like whenever you're teaching these people about like, hey, this is how you go to another airport, it gets overwhelming because you switch to approach. You tell them what you're doing. Then you got to put in weather for the next place you're going. You're figuring out where the winds are coming from. Now I'm trying to figure out what runway I'm going to land on. Okay, now I need to figure out what the traffic pattern for that runway is coming on. Okay, when do I switch over to the frequency to get to that airport? And that's all happening in like 10 minutes.
Right.
Right.
Instead of like an hour or
Yeah,
something.
and you're flying the plane at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's like for them it gets
So it's like once you take off, you're already figuring out how to land almost.
Yeah.
yeah, well that's what I
Yeah.
try and tell them. It's like if you're going to an airport that close, you better start setting up.
Well, and like, like New Iberia, I mean, you got to, basically as soon as you get in the air, you can see the airport, you know?
Mhm.
Really?
So, yeah, pretty
It's
much.
pretty close. It's like 10 miles away.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's really close.
Yeah.
So, but no, they get overwhelmed real easy with that kind of stuff. So it's just you got to teach them how to.
I just got up here.
Yeah. Well, Abbeville's real bad too. Abbeville's only 15 miles away.
So how
16
long does it
miles.
take to get there? Like,
10 minutes, probably
okay.
10 minutes, depending on
Yeah.
what's going on. So you got about what it takes to get there to get ready.
Yeah.
But the other thing too is like when you make your radio call to it, you don't want to make the radio call on top of the airport, right? You want to make the call a little bit out.
You want to let them know
So
you're
you-
coming instead
yeah,
of
so you
I'm
can-
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like realistically, you got a little bit less than 10 minutes.
You got 5 minutes.
Yeah, to figure out what you're going to do. And that obviously gets overwhelming. And that's how people get behind, like that kind of stuff. That's an easy way.
I would just be up there like, I just want to fly. I'm going to go around a few times or something. I'll pass it up and come back. I don't know.
Well, I've told people to do that. If they go to Opelousas and some people take a long time and then they'll start getting close to Opelousas and then we'll get to the points where we're on top of Opelousas. I'm like,
You can't.
oh,
yeah.
what are we doing? Like,
Yeah.
What are we doing?
we're here.
Yeah.
We're here now. What are we going to do? And if you need to just do some circles out here, do it. Just
Does Opelousas have a tower?
No.
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 But I can imagine if you do that from Opelousas to here and you're behind, and you're asking that, and then Tower starts asking what you're doing,
Yeah.
you could get real overwhelmed. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to. Like, I'm gonna go around. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Yeah. Well, and the people would think I think a lot of people are scared of towered airports and stuff like that, but once you know how to talk to it, it's kind of easier, right? Because like you go to an untowered airport, you're the one that has to come up with the plan on how you're going to land, what you're going to do,
Instead of listening to Tower.
instead of
tell
just
you.
listening to them and getting them to tell you what to do,
Yeah.
right?
And you got a crop duster that lands opposite direction.
Correct.
Coming in.
Yeah.
I'm coming in.
Going in hot.
Yep. But and
We
then,
need to have them on the podcast.
yes, we do.
That would be great.
Oh, yes. We could use all 3 mics and just
Yeah.
interrogate them.
Yes.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And then it carries over from private too, because you try to get people to understand this, and they finally get it, and then they switch to instrument, and then it's a whole different trying to stay ahead of the plane. It's
Oh,
different.
because you have a whole.
You're
new
doing
set
different
of-
stuff,
yeah.
right? Instead of preparing to enter in the traffic pattern VFR, you're loading in approaches. You're trying to making sure you have the right frequencies. You're trying to make sure your navigation frequencies are set up, making sure you're intercepting headings, staying at your altitude. Because everything's a little bit more strict when you're flying on IFR.
Yeah.
So it's easy to get behind, and that's
And you
what-
know, that's what people don't think about is like, say they're getting vectors for an ILS approach, and they don't think that they could ask for extra vectors if they're not set up, you know?
Yep.
The one that gets a lot of people is if you do the ILS here and then you have to go do the RNAV in New Iberia. I mean, it's so quick, and Tower doesn't know, so they're like lining you up for the approach, and if you're not set up on your instruments ready to go,
yeah,
then you're gonna mess the whole thing up.
yeah,
So like, you know, and people don't think, oh, I can ask for extra vectors, or no, they told me to do this, I have to do this. No, you just tell them I'm not set up yet. I want to get extra vectors.
yep.
That's extra vectors.
That means different headings, so you can come back around and
Oh, like point me around so I can try.
yeah, or
again.
point
A
me in an
delayed
opposite.
vector. I'm
Gotcha.
delaying my approach. Help me
Yeah.
out.
So like, point me in another direction till I get my instruments set up and my GPS set up, and then I'll let you know, and then now you can line me
Gotcha.
up with the approach.
And this is y'all talking about IFR.
Yeah.
Well, I tell a lot of people too, it's like they're there to help you, not the other way around. You're not there to help them out. Like, you're not there to get on the course and try and make it as easy as possible for them. Like, if you're not set
Yeah.
up, they've got a lot of stuff going on. They may have a hard job, but in this situation, it's a little bit harder for you.
You
right
have to
now.
do what they want.
Yes.
Period. Right? Because they're conducting the planes.
Well, what you talking about, the pilot or the air traffic
you as a
control?
pilot have to
Oh.
do what the
Correct.
ATC
Yeah.
But they're there
wants.
to help you though also, right?
Right.
They can either tell you, hey, I can't do that, or they can help you out, right?
Yeah.
And if they can't do that, you could just say, well, that's not going to work for me because I cannot get set up
Yeah.
for whatever approach, right? They're there to help you.
And then they'll tell you which direction to go if
Correct.
there's other traffic or whatever.
Correct. They are there to help you.
That's
so
why you
use
get a new
them.
head. Gotcha. Yeah.
Don't make it to where it's a downfall, right? They're supposed to be there to be a tool, like
Yeah.
a tool for you to use instead of them messing you up or putting you in a situation that's going to negatively affect you.
That's
So,
a good way to put it. They're literally there to help you.
Yeah.
Like, hey, how do I land?
Yeah.
Basically. Or hey, I can't land this way. Can I try this way?
Yes. Yep. So don't look at it the other way around. They're there for you. Nick in the tower says they're customer service. That's what he
Yeah.
tries to say for
Yep.
Calling customer service.
But yeah, stay ahead. Don't fall behind.
Now time for Today in Aviation History.
5 days after today, Wright Brothers Day is celebrated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on December 17th. The Wright Brothers National Memorial in Kill Devil Hills.
Yeah,
North
do you know-
Carolina.
You know what happened at Kill Devil Hills?
Couldn't tell you.
That's where they killed the devil.
Couldn't
That's
tell
where
you.
the first flight was.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Ryan, you know
Well-
what day that was on?
No, I can't tell you.
December 17th. That's what he's saying.
December 17th. And what year was it?
1903.
Yeah, it's the 120th anniversary.
So back in 1953, Mach 2.5 is achieved for the first time by Major Charles Chuck Yeager in a Bell X-1A. The rocket-propelled experimental aircraft reaches 1,650 miles per hour at 70,000 feet.
Chuck Yeager. That sounds like a familiar name.
Yeah, he must have done that again or before or something.
I think a few years before that, he hit Mach 1.
Are you sure?
Didn't we
No.
talk about that?
I think we did.
Was
But
it the Mach 2?
No. We talked about him.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about him. We did talk about him before.
So it might
But
have
I
been,
thought it was when he hit Mach 1, like the first time he went
Maybe.
past the sound.
Probably. That sounds
Yeah.
probable.
Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
he-
want to say we
Wait.
did talk about him, but it was when he first hit. Like nobody knew what was going to happen when he hit Mach 1.
So today's actually December 6th when we're filming this. So he was born, Chuck Yeager, February 13th, 1923. He died December 7th, 2020.
Really?
Oh, so he died 4 years ago. Almost, 5 years ago almost. No, 4 years
Almost
ago.
exactly 4
you know what
years
else
ago.
happened on December 7th?
What?
Do you know?
No.
Oh, yes. Will. Hello.
Fixed it.
He didn't fix it. Did you fix it? Oh, all right.
Flight Tales, woo-woo.
If you made it this far, you listened to the entire episode. And for that, we would just like to say thank you, and we hope you enjoyed it. We would also like to thank Brennan Go for being my co-host today. If you have any questions about today's episode or suggestions for future episodes, just leave a comment or message us, and we'll do our best to answer. If you'd like to check out some fun aviation videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Owens Flight Training. Or if you'd like to get more information on becoming a safe, knowledgeable, and confident pilot, just head over to our website, owensflighttraining.com.